going on, my friends? This is Bluejacket Bricks, and in today's video, I am going to talk about the top 5 LEGO themes I want to see make a return. And this is my second installment in this series. The first one is the top 10 LEGO city sets I want to see made. If you guys haven't seen that yet, I will post a link in the description, or you can check it out on the channel, whichever you prefer. But in this one, I want to go over the top 5 LEGO themes from the past that I think would do very well in the present. And starting out, we have number 5, sports. So sports officially began in 2003 and ran through 2004, although it technically started in the year 2000 as just soccer, but it kind of grew over the years to include basketball, continued with soccer or football, depending on which one you prefer, and hockey, as well as skateboarding and snowboarding, although those were included under Gravity games. And these were system compatible, so you could kind of introduce them into your LEGO City if you really wanted to. Either way, they also included licensing such as NBA, NHL, stuff like that, and also had advertisements on the sides such as Adidas. I did actually have one set of these. I cannot remember the name of it. I will be editing it later to include the name, but it is basically like a like some spectator stands for a soccer match, and then like a little spectator tower with a camera boom. Again, can't remember it. I will include it later, but I would love to see these come back, maybe as like not really individual packs but full sets, because originally it was smaller sets that you could put together and make a stadium of your own size, which I am totally a fan of, although I don't think that formula really works much for LEGO today. But if it's something that they would be interested in doing, I'm all for it. But I would love to see more stuff like, of course, soccer, then possibly American football if there were enough demand for it. Hockey. I know hockey is big in the US and a bunch of European countries. Me personally, I'm a hockey fan, so that would be huge for me. What else? We could see stuff like baseball, rugby, stuff like that. Again, if the demand called for it, but we could probably keep it to what they had before with the soccer, hockey, and basketball. I think that would be just fine. Next up, at number 4, we have space. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Space is kind of making a comeback with the classic sets that were released earlier last year, and also a gift with purchase set that was released earlier this year, which I actually do have. It's pretty awesome. I haven't built it yet, though. But anyway, I know there are many LEGO fans who would love to see classic space return, and I am all for that. However, I think maybe we should consider the possibility of a more realistic take of futuristic space, or at least modern. And this could also include Easter eggs to past sets, but again, a more realistic look into our future with moon, Mars, and asteroid bases, and potentially also take inspiration from the novels and television series The Expanse. I am a huge fan of that show, but this show does offer a really great take on the future of humanity and the colonization of the solar system, and the ship designs are just so awesome. Now, they're a bit brutalist, if that's the right term for it, and I have some example pictures below from the actual show itself and the ship designs. I have seen a couple of LEGO sets, or not LEGO sets, but LEGO mocks of the ships, one of them being the Rocinante, which is the main ship in the show. Definitely check out the show if you guys haven't already, but I think this would be a great place to start for a rebooted LEGO space theme. Alright, number 3, and we have LEGO Fabuland. Now, this was a theme that was introduced in 1979 and was unfortunately discontinued in 1989 and was one of the longest lived themes to date. Now, this theme included many sets depicting the land of Fabuland and the different figures, which were more like anthropomorphic animals with various different heads, and I believe they were also named, if I'm not mistaken. But these were Lego system compatible, although they did kind of give a Duplo kind of look. However, I believe if this made a comeback today, it would be awesome. Although, I am also worried that Lego might try and go the route of juniorizing it. If you guys don't know what juniorizing is, that's basically my term for sets being watered down for little kids, basically that in between of Duplo and the 8 to 12 sets, which is what we're usually used to for anything that isn't Duplo. And it's like bigger, blockier builds with less pieces, and bigger molds and stuff like that. But we had quite a few sets come from this theme, quite a few buildings and vehicles, and just different scenes that I think would be potentially popular if it came back.
Now, I'm not saying this because I'm a furry, because I'm definitely not. We're not going there.
But I think it would be a really cute theme that could come back, and I don't really have any ideas for particular sets I would like to see, just that maybe we could see some of these sets remade in a bit of a more modern design. Of course, they could keep some of their more childish, colorful designs, but it could be something that would be worth looking into. Number 2, we have Agents. So, this was originally introduced in the summer of 2008 and continued into 2009 as Agents 2.0, and was unfortunately discontinued after that. This involved an elite team of secret agents using high-power technology to thwart the plans of an international crime syndicate led by Dr. Inferno. Now, this theme did kind of get a reboot in 2014 as Ultra Agents. However, it did not continue the original characters. It introduced new characters entirely, although kind of followed the same formula of the agents having technologically superior equipment and stuff, and the baddies kind of having more superpower kind of gimmicks going on. And that lasted until 2016, but I don't think it really took off as well. That being said, I think it did have more sets than the original Agents theme did. And I did really enjoy the aesthetics of Ultra Agents, but it just doesn't do that nostalgia for me like the original Agents theme did. But I would love to see a new Agents reboot, but with the original characters like Chase, Charge, Fuse, Trace. But anyways, everyone come back, including all the baddies such as Dr. Inferno. I'd love to see bigger sets, bigger vehicles, more missions and all that, because I think this had such amazing potential to be a larger theme, but it just didn't. It didn't really go much further than Agents 2.0, which only had 5 sets in that wave, and then it was discontinued after that. They also had a couple of online games. I remember I played one of them, the Robot Chronicles. That actually tied into Lego City and Racers, which was interesting. And I think that's something that they could also do today, is bring it back where it could somehow tie into Lego City, now that Lego City itself seems to have a little bit of its own story going on, especially with the TV show Lego City Adventures. Now, I again don't know what sets could come back, or not really come back, but like be made as far as the comeback goes. I think it would be more of like a rehash of previous sets, which I'm not opposed to, although I would like to see more, considering most of their sets were on the smaller side, ranging between $10 and $50, with the most expensive one being $89.99, and that was the mobile command center. I think if they went bigger, maybe they could pull something off. Maybe also introduce a little TV show to go with it. I think that would be just awesome. Although, after the success of Ninjago, I'm not entirely sure how far that would go. But this is something that I would love to see come back. And that brings us to number 1, which is trains. Now, LEGO trains are still a thing. However, it is not its own theme like it used to be, because now trains are just integrated with LEGO City, which is perfectly fine. I'm not against that. However, at one point, we had LEGO trains as its own theme on Lego.com, because we also had sets like the Emerald Knight, or the Maersk train, or the TGV. That's not the official set name, but that's what it's based off of. But we had stuff like that were more detailed, more expensive train sets that didn't necessarily come with track. They were just more so the models, but they were something else, and they were awesome. And then before that, during the 9-volt era, we actually had more individual sets like the Santa Fe Super Chief, or the BNSF locomotive, or just various train carriages like cabooses, gondolas, stuff like that. I would love to see this come back, where you can customize your own train. You can buy as many carriages as you need instead of having to source the pieces to build more cars to match the sets that come out with LEGO City, or just buy multiple of the same set, because that just isn't fun and isn't cost effective. It just doesn't work. But I would love to see this come back, maybe with some new additions, as well as the some re-releases of the Super Chief, for example, or stuff like I said, new stuff, as in the Amtrak Acela, or some Union Pacific locomotives, some grain cars, more cabooses, even though cabooses aren't really used much anymore, if at all. We could see double-decker passenger cars, not unlike the Metroliner club car that they released, although I would love to see that come back as well. What else? We could see a more detailed version of the Intercity Express, not unlike the city sets that we've had before, like 7897, or stuff like the bullet trains from China and Japan, or even I've said it in the previous video, the top 10 LEGO City sets I want to see return, but a monorail. We could have a monorail again, and it could be part of the trains theme, and then you could have like the separate packs for the track and whatnot, and then also just in general, more train stations, like small train stations, big train stations, like a Grand Central Station kind of deal. And this could all tie into LEGO City without being LEGO City. It could be its own thing, and this would be perfect for LEGO train collectors and layout builders. Like, some of these layouts that you see at train expos or other LEGO events are just incredible, and it just would make so much sense to bring this back. But that's enough of my rambling for one video. Let me know what you guys think of my choices. I would like to make another video like this in the future, although I'm going to have to gather some more ideas to what themes and sets I want to see. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already to see more content, and I will see you guys later.